What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Nudge RDA. So this one's a collaborative effort from Suck My Mod and our friends over at Wotofo, with a big, huge shout out and thank you going over to them for allowing me to take a look at their latest products. And with that, this build deck is absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it. It's definitely got a lot of innovation packed into this one, and I gotta say, I've really been enjoying tinkering around with it. So this device is available in 6 different color options. You have green, gunmetal, stainless steel, red, black, and blue. And I like to call these more mature colors because there's not too crazy and off the wall. They're kind of that desaturated, sort of satin finished, elegant looking styles. But with that, yeah, this one's gonna go for 36 bucks online, which is definitely a decent price for what you get. It's a really nice little interesting device, and I would definitely recommend you guys try one out for yourself. If you do want to pick one up, I'll leave links right down there in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, as you can see here, we've got the Nudge RDA in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging and then talk about what's inside. So first and foremost, we have Nudge RDA right there in green on the front, with a guy standing behind it in a very kind of Photoshop filtery looking way. That's kind of neat. Wotofo logo on the bottom. We have the color indication and the UPC there with a big 24 sticker. I'm not sure if there's any other sizes to this one yet. I haven't seen anything about it, but that would kind of clue me into the fact that they might be coming out with another size of this thing. That's kind of interesting. Wotofo.com on the back there, and on this side we have the same thing with a scratch-off authentication. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the box. We get of course, the Nudge RDA. Let's go ahead and attempt to get that out of the box. There we go. Of course, the Nudge RDA. And this is a little 510 drip tip adapter if you want to use it. Oh, this one's going to be a pain in the ass to get out of here. There we go. 510 drip tip adapter if you want to use a smaller drip tip on this thing. We have our, let's go over the user manual first. Nice booklet style manual with a lot of color graphics, which is just great. Although, you know, it's an RDA, it doesn't really need a manual, but hey, it's a booklet style, it's got color graphics, I'm a happy camper. Moving on, we have the Wotofo giveaway little thing, card, whatever you want to call it. And so yeah, if you want to win a Wotofo t-shirt, then there's got to be some rules. Yeah, follow them on Instagram, post a photo of the product, and tag them. So there you go. They're going to be giving away 100 t-shirts. All right, we have our, of course, Wotofo comp wire baggies here. Let's go ahead and break them open, see what's inside. First one has some coils. Oh, some really nice coils, I gotta say. China has really stepped up its game when it comes to their pre-made coil, game. I absolutely love it. Really nice looking coils there, and they already have the leads facing the right direction, which is great. Next baggie. Oh, I didn't even rip it open all the way. Awesome. All right, hold on. Let me use my teeth. Oh, there we go. Next one we have, oh, it's just cotton anyways. No big deal. It's just a little thing of cotton. So they give you a little bit just to get started. That's a nice touch. And the last one, I already know what's in it because I already ripped it open to get to the squonk pin. And that would be some replacement screws. There's some O-rings in the bottom, which, oh, okay, now they're all over my desk. Oh, geez. All right. 1 second. There we go. We got all the O-rings back here. We have the squonk pin, or in this case, I took the normal pin out to replace it with a squonk pin already, so this is the normal pin. And you get a full set of O-rings, of course, as always. So there you go. That's what's in the box. And you also get a little black screwdriver as well, the older brother to the little blue magic screwdriver that we always see coming from China. But there you go. All right, that's what's inside the box. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, guys, let's go over the specs. First of all, it's 24 millimeters in diameter. It's a staggered Z-post, 3-post, 4-terminal design. Outer single post, dual center post with a floating center post for larger juice capacity, 3 millimeter by 2 millimeter each terminal openings, top mounted Phillips screws, 6 millimeter deep juice well, peak insulated with double O-rings securing on the top cap, side airflow system, dual 7 millimeter by 3 millimeter air slots, 11 millimeter wide bore drip tip included. That's an 810 Ultem tip, as well as a 510 drip tip adapter as well. Stainless steel construction and 24 karat gold plated 510 connection. Alright guys, so let's go top to bottom with the Nudge RDA, starting off with the drip tip. This is a Delrin 810 drip tip that's included with it. It's a little tiny bit taller than I'm used to, but that's actually a really good thing as far as I'm concerned. Super comfortable to vape on. No problems with this one whatsoever. There you can see the bore right down the middle. And just to prove to you guys that it is in fact 810, I have my testing 810 tip that I've been using for the past, few videos on everything that's 810 tip compatible. There you go. We have an 810 tip in there sitting nice and flush and beautifully. It's very secure in there. No wiggling, no wobbling, no chance that thing's going to fall out of there no matter what. Then you have the O-ring right on the inside of this lip here, which is great. Holds everything just fine from my experience. And it's got this little kind of little beveled edge sort of thing going on, which is kind of interesting. It fits the tips flush when you have the 810 tips installed, and I'm assuming the same is true when you have the 510 adapter in there. But that is a really nice touch. It's just a simple little bit of elegance that makes this thing really stand out from the crowd. So here's the top cap section, and as you guys can probably see, it has a little bit of a notch right here at the top, which is kind of an interesting aesthetic choice. And I say aesthetic because it's not matched on the inside. There's no actual indentation on the inside whatsoever, just kind of straight up to the drip tip. It does have a little tiny bit of a chamfer, but it's absolutely nothing to do with this outside edge here. With that, you have your Nudge RDA engravings, which beautiful, beautiful engravings on this thing. Not too deep, not too shallow, very noticeable, and definitely stands out. And then you have your air slots right on the side here. You can see them going right through. There you go. And on this side here, we have the Suck My Mod logo. Beautiful, beautiful engravings on this one. Very, very nicely styled. And the piece you've all been waiting for, the build deck. This thing is absolutely funky looking. I mean, just look at it. It's definitely a crazy looking build deck, but really, really unique and definitely innovative. Has this kind of Z-type sort of pattern going on. You can see kind of what they were going for with this one here. It's supposed to kind of, I guess, swirl the airflow around a bit, and you can see these little openings on the side here. That's where your airflow is controlled just by moving the cap left or right. So that's where the air goes in, and then it has this little ramp right in the middle section. Hopefully you guys can see that, but it's got a little tiny ramp on the inside that kind of shoots the air directly upwards, which is very, very interesting. These posts here are just slots basically, so you just loosen up your screw and slide your coil under there and trap it with the Phillips screws. Never really had an issue with that, and it works really, really nicely. But it's such a funky looking build deck. It's definitely something to behold, and nice deep juice well on there. Can hold plenty of liquid and wicking material, and it works very, very well when in squonking mode. I've been using this thing pretty much exclusively in squonking mode since I got it, and I gotta say you can, when you squonk on it, the juice flows up really nice, and then it sucks it all back into the little center post area. The top cap is secured with these two O-rings here, and I've never had any issues with this whatsoever. It holds really nice and firm. On the bottom here, you can see the Wotofo logo as well as the Suck My Mod logo once again, and you have your gold-plated 510 connection. Right now, mine is in squonk mode, so it does have the hole running up through the middle of it, and it is very, very easy to change. You can even change it out when you have a build in the build deck, so that is something really, really cool that I like about this thing. So that's all I got for this little close-up section. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of this video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off today with the pros, and my first pro is that it's a really great flavor RDA. I get excellent flavor off of this one, and right now I'm vaping some of my own brand Blaz in there. I've got Blaz Mango, and this is definitely what Blaz Mango is supposed to taste like. I get excellent, excellent flavor off of it, and that's not to say you can't get a good cloud off of it, because I definitely can, but with this one here, I feel like it's it's more geared to flavor chasing than it is to cloud chasing. My second pro for this one is the smooth airflow. I was actually kind of surprised in how smooth it is, just because just when you look at that build deck, you think to yourself, there's no way this is not going to whistle or be really turbulent or anything like that. I get nice smooth airflow no matter how much I cut it off. Personally, I tend to cut it off about halfway. I get about 50% of that airflow cut off, and it's still nice and quiet when I vape on it, and that is just great for me personally. And my third pro today is the wide bore tip. Now, personally, the way I have it set up right now, I don't really need a wide bore tip, but I like the fact that I have options as far as, you know, putting a slightly warmer build in there. I could definitely open up that airflow and get the full kind of experience of all of that airflow going through an 810 size drip tip. And it's made of Delrin, so it's not going to heat up when you're vaping on it, not to mention the fact that it's not overly low profile, so your lips aren't going to touch your top cap. And my fourth and final pro for this device is that it feels really well made. Now, upon first inspection of this device, it's really hard to tell that it's made in China. Honestly, I gotta say, you could easily mistake this thing for something made in America just by taking a look around. It just has that kind of quality look to it. It definitely has great machining, and it just looks super duper classy. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons, my first con is that the build deck feels a little bit cramped. Now, my preferred inner diameter is 3mm, and with that, it's a little bit tight as it stands, so as far as that goes, if you wanted to position your coils a little bit lower, you're going to have a really difficult time maneuvering around in the build deck. And if you like to build anything larger than 3mm, 3.5, 4mm, anything like that, this one is definitely going to be a no-go for you. My second con is for all you squonkers out there. This one is going to be a little bit easier to over squonk. Now, the air holes are positioned pretty low on the deck here, so when your bottle is really full, all you have to do is just kind of barely tap it, and you'll get the appropriate amount of juice. Any kind of serious pressure on that bottle, and you're going to end up over squonking this thing. You're going to get juice leaking out everywhere, and it can be a big mess. Now, personally, I'm a squonking noob, so this might be just a noob problem, but with that, I always find it difficult to tell when I have enough juice on my coils and when is too much. So as far as that goes, it could be my problem. You guys might not even see that issue. And my third and final con for this device is that it's a little bit more difficult to build than you might think. Now, I find that there's a less margin for error with this one here just because it's a little bit more difficult to position your coils. I feel like they had the right idea with this one with a lot of innovation in their build deck, but the execution of that made it just that much more difficult to build. So I feel like this one's going to take a little bit more time to get used to before you can actually master the actual positioning of your coils just right, so that you don't have to go back and forth and adjust them a million times. But with that, this one is definitely going to take a little bit more practice than your traditional RDA style. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out and pick myself one of these up if I didn't get this one in for a review? And I'm going to say yes to this one, just because I feel like practice makes perfect, and this one is going to take a little bit more patience to get used to it, but with that will come a really great flavor RDA. I feel like this thing is built for flavor, and if you get those builds just right on this thing, you're going to be in flavor country. So as far as that goes, if you're a flavor chaser, then definitely pick yourself up a Nudge RDA, just because it's a fun one to mess around with, and I think that you're going to have a great time building on it, and you're going to get some seriously good flavor. If you're a cloud chaser, then you might want to avoid this one just because it's not really geared towards that. You can get a good cloud off of it, but it's definitely not meant to be a sort of cloud machine. But with that, if you want to pick one up for yourself, I'll leave links right down there in the description. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Big shout out to you guys in the notification squad for getting here early. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts all about the Nudge RDA or anything else you guys want to discuss down there. The Facebook group is open, guys. Make sure you join. The link will be right down there in the description below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.